What is up, Wolfpack? Today we're going to be covering why I ditched my Glock 19. Like most of you, when you were first looking into a handgun, you were looking for something that would be a perfect combo of a nightstand weapon, a concealed carry gun, a sort of do-it-all weapon. And I'm sure, like many of you, you immediately went to the ever-popular, the ever-ubiquitous Glock 19, and for good reason. This is by far the best first handgun for anyone looking to get into handguns. First, let's do a quick safety check. This is my dry fire mag. You can see here, nothing in the chamber, nothing there. And like most of you, you end up picking up a Glock 19. And this one I've had for over 10 years. It has served me incredibly well. But when I was ready to do my upgrade, I'm gonna walk you through why I decided to ditch my ever popular, always reliable Glock 19. Stick around at the end of the video because we're also going to be giving away a brand new SE4 for my people that are brand new to the channel. We give away one of these, and so stick around at the end of the video. For my current subscribers, particularly the notification squad, thank you all for helping the channel grow so quickly. So, like I mentioned, when you were first looking into getting a handgun, you were looking for something that had the perfect combination of ergonomics, reliability, which is the most critical for a first-time handgun owner, ease of use, the aftermarket support between the holsters, and all of the different accessories. And like many of you, you probably are sitting there with a Glock 19 at home, and it has served you incredibly well. And it's kind of hard for you to understand, hey, like what could be better than a Glock 19? And it isn't until you really start trying out a bunch of different firearms that you end up realizing, like, hey, you know what? While this is an incredible firearm, no doubt, there's a reason it is the most popular firearm. The Glock 19 is the thing that I recommend for almost everybody. As you start using more and more firearms, you end up realizing there's a couple sort of idiosyncrasies, particularly with the Glock 19, that can be addressed. Number one, particularly the sight picture. So you can take a look at here. I already have the XS Big Dot suppressor night height sights. The reason I like these on all of my firearms is that, number one, you can run a suppressor if you wanted to. Number two, it's metal, unlike the plastic plastic sights that end up actually melting or breaking in certain scenarios. And actually one has broken on me after running a few hundred rounds at the range. And then also with this giant lip, it'll allow you to be able to rack it in case your offhand gets injured. And so you could rack this on an EDC belt. You could rack this on the edge of a table. Hell, if you really wanted to and you were in a really dire situation, you could really just dig that into your skin and rack it on your own body. It's better to get a firearm back in battery, even if you gouge out a little bit of your skin, than to continue to get shot at. So I definitely recommend the XS Big Dots, and also they are incredible in terms of getting that sight picture. You can see here, it makes it incredibly accurate. So what are some of the issues with the Glock 19? The issues with the Glock 19, number one, it has got an awkward angle. And so it definitely requires a little bit more muscle memory in order, you really have to work on those dry firing skills. Watch my video, I'll put a card up top, the 10 skills that everyone should work on. And one of those is dry firing. You can see here, this is actually a Mantis X, which I highly recommend for those that are dealing with the ammo shortage right now, to just get your reps in at home. It'll actually diagnose where you're shooting, and it's the equivalent of going to the range. In fact, it might even be better than going to the range. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, and the Mantis X really helps you perfect that draw stroke and really getting that consistent sight picture over and over again, and so you're able to get those shots in place. And so this has now become my dry firearm. In fact, I talked about this in the other video. I use these plastic snap caps, and the reason that I like the plastic over the metal is you can see here that these actually get chipped away. And so you can see they actually break, and the breaking is actually what you want, because then the extractor won't work. And so when the firearm is cycling, you'll actually sometimes create a double feed. And if you've never dealt with a double feed in a course in a highly stressful situation, you know how difficult it is to clear and to get your weapon back in battery. And so the ability to tap rack or the ability to really set the firearm to slide back and be ready to go. And so while these can all be mitigated, you start using some of these other firearms and you realize like their angles are better. Sometimes you want a little bit of extra capacity, which you could, this is a Glock 17 magazine. You can get that going, but still like for me, I wear, a size large hands. Sometimes my pinky, will start to slide off. And Talon grips definitely help. Watch my video on the Talon grips. They're definitely great to, it's sort of like skateboard tape and really lock it in, particularly after a few hours at the range and your hands are all sweaty. There are some things you can get mitigated, but I felt like I was making a lot of trade-offs. And like, while the Glock 19 is a great just sort of all-around gun, I was looking for perfection. I was looking for true Glock perfection. And so when I was ready to make my choice and was looking for the upgrade, where else would I be going other than with Glock itself? So this is actually a Glock 45. Glock 45, don't let the name fool you. Glock does a terrible job of naming. This is not in a 45. This is still a 9mm. And in fact, what's interesting about this, the Glock 45, what it is it's an extension of the Glock 19X. And so I'm going to explain this to you. You can see what the Glock 45 is. It is the same top. It is the Glock 19 slide. And so these slides are actually identical. They're 100% the same size, but with a Glock 17 handle. And so what makes this such an incredible firearm is with the longer handle, but with the same slide, it allows you to, you could see that. I wish you could feel how comfortable and powerful this feels. It is truly locked into your hand. I feel like this becomes like a tack driver. And so with the same level of firearm, it allows you to really be able to really own the firearm and mitigate a lot of the recoil. And so if you take a look at this, there's a lot less to hold on to. And so the snappiness, it's still a 9mm, so it's not terrible, but the ability to sort of get back your sight picture back over and over and over again, there's a lot more leverage here versus this, where it really like locks in and it just does not move. Every time it goes back and forth, it continues to maintain the same sight picture. And so, honestly, it feels like shooting a 22. It is incredible. The other reason that I picked the Glock 45 is because of the same slide radius. Unlike picking up another firearm, you're able to create that same muscle memory, those same grooves that you did with the Glock 19. And so with the Glock 19, you've developed that muscle memory. And if you're not an operator like myself, you're unable to if you're practicing with 10 different firearms, that's 10 different muscle memories that you need to work on. And now for me, who's more of a casual shooter and someone more of a hobbyist, I didn't want to retrain my brain to use 10 different firearms. I just wanted to have that same consistent draw stroke each and every time. And so with the Glock 45, it allows me to also do that. You can see here that I've added a red dot. I'm in the process of changing these out to the XS big dot sights. I didn't want to put those in until I can get everything zeroed. And so that's why it's not currently on there. And then I've got the TLR1, which is just a phenomenal light. Pro tip, if you can see here, we've already got a little bit of carbon on there. Put some clear tape on this. And then that way, instead of needing to clean it, you can just peel that clear tape off. And so that way it'll keep the front very just clean and ready to go. Then on top of that, you've got the 17, the ability to use the 17 mags. And so not only do you have extra capacity, you've got the same top level sight picture. You've got incredible recoil management. You can end up using almost the same holsters, mostly the same holsters. And then if you also have the Kel-Tec or a pistol caliber carbine, this is my backpack gun. I'll have another video on this. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be walking through this. These mags will fit in there. And so you've got basically a full complete package with your Glock 45. And also this is just as easy to conceal as this because the slide is what's difficult to conceal. With a Glock 17, it'll go a little deeper. And so if you're running appendix carry like myself, it's going to jab into your leg. And so with that, you're able to sort of get everything going. And so I hope this was helpful. I hope you consider the Glock 45, look into it. I know it's a terrible name. Before I let you go, we're going to walk you through how to win this. All you need to do is subscribe and leave a comment, and you'll be instantly entered. We've already given away 5 of these. Dan, Jeff, Toby, we just gave one away to Kristen. So Kristen, we got this coming out to you. Really looking forward to sending this out. And then turn on notifications so you're aware when we Once we hit 4,000 subscribers, we'll be announcing the winner. Thanks all.